We have created a whole generation of people who think that having a mental health issue completely absolves you of accountability in even the most reasonable circumstances and gives you a blanket excuse not to have any sort of personal development. That's not grace, that's enabling. We have created a whole generation of people who think that having a mental health issue completely.
Okay, hello everyone. I hope you caught that clip. I'm very, very late. I had a lot of technical difficulties. I'm using a new streaming application, and for whatever reason, I've been up since this morning trying to figure out how this thing works. Literally, I've been having issues playing the audio of the files. Well, not the files that I have of the. Basically, if I'm having trouble playing audio, playback issues and stuff like that. So please let me know if you can hear me or not. Literally, I've been trying out all the settings and I think I figured it out. But without further ado, we're just gonna be. I hope I'm not gonna try to stay here too long, but at the same time, I have a lot of stuff to talk about because I've been kind of MIA in the past 2 or 3 weeks, and a lot of stuff has happened, especially with Perrie and Jesy. And as you can tell, I'm using my old overlays from like months back. But this live was kind of impromptu. I just figured I get on here and I just kind of chat with y'all for a little bit. So on the docket today, we're going to be talking mostly on Perrie and Jesy and the little mix, what's going on with the girls. And then I will be talking about what else? Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about Jesy, which, by the way, the new season of her show came out. Let me know if y'all be interested in me reviewing that like we did prior. Just let me know. Jot down below. Hello, everyone who's watching. Hello. I think after Perrie and Jesy, we were talking a little bit about Leigh-Anne and then Coco Jones. Oh yeah, and Love Island, of course. A lot of Love Island news. Depending on how the stream will go, I'm gonna try to keep it around an hour and a half, but who knows, right? Who knows? So, excuse the noises. Excuse it. I'm gonna try to mute myself. Sorry about that. There's like an airplane that went by and it was like so loud. So I'm just gonna jump right into that infamous Perrie interview where she talks about basically her response to Jesy in her documentary series. So, and y'all bear with me. It's a whole new app I'm using, so hopefully it's a lot better than StreamYard.
Sometimes you just won't win with people. You just don't see eye to eye at all. You could discuss something with somebody for hours and hours and hours and still at the end of that discussion be like, well, I still think this and you still think that. And that's what it kind of came to. And what annoys me the most, again, I have to be careful how I say this because I don't want to seem like a bitch, but for me, what upsets me the most is when situations like this happen, when the other person doesn't take any accountability. That boils my blood. I'm not.
How do y'all feel about that? I've never seen so much emotion coming from Perrie. I was like kind of taken aback because, you know, the girls, they usually don't speak on stuff like this, especially not verbally. Like, you don't ever really see them do a sit-down interview touching on stuff like this or clapping back in this type of manner. So when she said that, I was like, oh. In a lot of ways, it's like, I don't think she's completely over the Jesy situation. I think there's still some remnants of it that kind of affects her still, which rightfully so, because she's been with her in the band for like darn near 10 years, a huge chunk for life. But what do y'all think about Perrie's emotions during this particular spot of the interview? Let me continue.
Take any accountability. That boils my blood. I'm not blaming when situations like this happen, when the other person doesn't take any accountability, that boils my blood. I'm not blaming everything on you. I'm not saying she's this fucking monster and everything was her fault and blah, blah, blah. But take some accountability for your actions and realize you were difficult. You did have difficult moments. Granted, there was reasons for those moments, but you can only pick somebody up so many fucking times before you start losing track of your own sanity. And
we spoke about this in our last live, remember? Oh, hello. Devontae, hey. Totally felt Perrie's truth and honesty. She needs to let that out. Yep. She probably had it pent up this whole time, so it kind of just came out semi-raw during this interview. I completely understand, and like we were saying in the last live when season 1 of Jesy's docuseries came out, yes, I can't imagine what it is to be Jesy dealing with all of her mental anguish, and you know, she's not going to have good days. Apparently she's had a lot of bad ones. But at the same time, if you are someone on the receiving end of that, someone who is constantly there to try to reassure her, to pick her up, that can be draining and exhausting. Okay, and keep that in mind, that kind of dynamic, because when we talk about Love Island, I can't even speak. When we talk about Love Island, that dynamic I will talk about that dynamic again. So just keep that in mind. Hello. Let me know if you can hear the audio. I've been having issues with the playback, so shout out to you, Devontae. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so that's mainly the only part I wanted to get into, but let me just finish up her bit right quick. She definitely needs to get out of those. Yep, she needed to get those feelings out. Absolutely. Okay, let me finish up the clip.
you want to be there for that person, but if they can't accept the help and they can't accept the love that you're trying to show, how do you win? How do you get past that? You can't.
No, because Perrie, what you're talking about fairness as well.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on a second, I understand there's fault here, but you need to accept that.
I hate that. I don't like putting the blame on people. Don't put the blame on me and make me out to be something that I'm not. Yes, I'm not perfect and I might not have been there enough, or I could have done better, I suppose, but I thought what I was doing was enough. I thought I'd tried everything.
Keep in mind, when Perrie came into the group, she was like 16, 17. So this is a teenage girl dealing with someone who has professional level issues, and she's doing her best to be there for her, to console her. I said it in my last live that Jesy needed professional help, that she was leaning too much on these girls, and they're kids themselves. What can they do? You know what I mean? You need the kind of stuff Jesy was going through, the fact that she would even try to take her life. She needed professional level help, and these girls were not equipped to deal with that. They did their best. But they were kids themselves. What do you expect from them? You know what I mean? You can't lean on them forever. You know, eventually, and like what we see today, these girls are now moms, or like they have careers taking off. It's like their priorities are going to change. They can't be with you forever. So it's like, yeah, she needs her baddie chain. Perrie kept it completely 100, and I wouldn't expect it from her because she doesn't seem like the confrontational type. I mean, I think she's even said before that she hates confrontation, but this seems pretty good to me. Like, I said what I said. That's it. Okay, so let's go to TikTok, because after this, child, listen, there was some back and forth. Apparently, Jesy's sister entered the chat and had a lot of stuff to say about this. And apparently, I saw on Twitter that there were people clocking Jesy's team, quote unquote Jesy's team. I think it was just her stans who were kind of ripping Perrie to shreds online. And I'm not going to go into that too much. I will say is that Jesy, like, listen, she doesn't have much of a team. It seems like she's very, I think it's really just her, maybe like a few other people. I'm not too sure what her situation is, but the people who came out to defend her, who were supposedly her team, apparently from what I've learned is that they were mainly her stans who became employed or heavily, like, closely affiliated with Jesy. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me that after all these years in the industry, she doesn't have any real, you know, high industry connections? That says a lot about her. You know what I mean? She spent like darn near over 10 years in the industry, and she doesn't really have industry connects like that. Like, and everyone's dragging her, which, you know, you could say it's bullying when, you know, I can kind of understand what you're saying, but 10 years and you don't have much industry connections, that says a lot about you. Okay, so let's see some responses. Okay, let's see some responses. So I try to get a mix of pro Perrie and pro Jesy, which, you know, listen, I did not like looking at the pro Jesy stuff, but I try to be balanced, and I was just curious of what they had to say. Yeah, she don't have any connections. It's like, it's been 10 years. Interesting. So, where should I start with first? Okay, let's just start here.
And you know what? I'm so happy Perrie Edwards got on that microphone. I'm so happy she got on that mic and decided to really say what she wanted to say about the whole Jesy Nelson situation. Because I'm going to be honest, y'all, it's been years, and to this day, I'm still gagged over what happened with Little Mix. Like, if you would have told 2012 me what would have happened in, like, what was it, like 2023, 2022? I don't remember the year. But if you would have told me all that would have happened 10 years later, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have never believed you.
You know what? I'll say the same. I will say the same. Because this group in particular, like, the one thing that kept me on Little Mix was their friendship dynamic. Every interview they would have, it was just so heartwarming and heartfelt and funny. You can see that there was a lot of love there. So to see it devolve into this, and that's what's really heartbreaking about the whole situation, is that with Jesy's antics, she is ruining the legacy of Little Mix. And we're going to get to the repercussions later on, where I'm like, if Jesy is going scorch earth, it will bite her in the end. Because you're messing with people's money. Right? So keep that in mind. She has kids with special needs. And she's messing with the money. Keep that in mind. Let's continue.
In a million years. And let me tell you something. Leigh-Anne, Jade, and Perrie have been very classy about the situation. Very classy. Because if it had been me, I would have been cussed Jessy's ass out. I would have got on live so quick and been like, you raggedy bitch. But no, they kept it very cute, very demure. And probably out of respect for their years of friendship with each other. And Jesy couldn't even grant them that. And then to get on
10 years of friendship, of being there supporting her, Jesy threw them all under the bus with season 1 of her docuseries. That's when I was like, okay, yeah, she's gonna be taught a lot of lessons in life. Let's just say that. That's when I realized she's gonna be taught a lot of lessons. Like, it's gonna be a lot of hard chapters for her coming up in the future. I just have an inkling, because you don't treat people like this.
some fucking interview and say, or not interview, documentary, and say that they never supported her? Are you out of your fucking mind? She's a liar. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, Jesy Nelson is a bitch, and so is her mother, a liar too. Like that, I'm happy. I'm so.
Ooh, okay, so she put her mom in this. Okay, I'm just gonna move on, but tell me what y'all think below, because yeah, when her mom, first of all, y'all remember when I showed you that part where her mom admitted that Jesy was a tough pill? She's like, I think her mom said something about, I can only imagine that the girls were having a hard time dealing with Jesy. Like, she could be a lot. Her mom admitted that. And then in the same breath, her mom was like, yeah, they weren't really there for her. I was like, wait, then what is it? I mean, you answered, I mean, it wasn't really a question, but if you're saying she was hard to deal with and that you can only imagine putting up with her, and then you're saying, yeah, the girls weren't there, I think you're answering that gap. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be there either. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many times, and I'm gonna dip. Keep that in mind. Let me play a next clip.
Perrie Edwards or Jesy Nelson, whose side are you on?
Jesy Nelson. She's recently had the bad news about her children. Perrie's now bringing up the drama again about the interview, and I just don't think it's right when she's going.
Can I just say that during the time of Perrie's interview, she was promoting that Passenger Princess single, and Jesy was gearing up to promote the season 2 of her docuseries. It was never going to be a good time. You know what I mean? With what Jesy is dealing with her children, I can see that being her saving grace with any type of criticism that comes her way. So, in a way, Perrie's interview dropped at a horrible time, yes, but there was never going to be a good time. So, And again, her children, Jesse's children, is her saving grace. But we'll continue.
Through all this bad news, think it should be dropped.
Why do you think Perrie decided to address it on the podcast?
Inviting someone onto a podcast, obviously they're going to talk about everything and anything, so she probably thought that she could get some more views from it, from saying stuff, because obviously Little Mix aren't around anymore.
Do you think that Jessy's getting unfairly judged?
Yeah, from stuff that happened so long ago. Friends are...
And again, who brought it up? Who brought it up? You know what's so funny is that after Perrie made that comment on that interview, her sister came out full force, like, oh my gosh, how can you keep bullying her? We're going to get to her sister in a second. But remember when I said, where is all her family members in this documentary? Like, her brothers weren't in the documentary. Her sister, I think we only saw her, like, maybe a few times. We just mainly see her mom. And so I'm like, remember that comment I made? I'm like, so, I don't know how we got into her family, but my ADHD, whatever. I'm thinking to myself, if I'm having a high-risk pregnancy, I would want all my family to be there. Like, I want all my brothers, I want all my sisters to be there. Why aren't her family there? It's just her best friend, her mom, and sometimes her sister would show up, and it's just like, what's going on? Like, something's not looking good in the milk. You know what I mean? Let me read some comments here. Very interesting. Jesy needs to do some more... Yes, Jesy needs to do some more work. I can't read your whole comment. This app is so annoying. She needs to do some more work to repair her friendship with her bandmates. Big time, for real. Exactly. Exactly. Because there will come a time, I promise you, there will come a time when she needs them. Because I'm looking at Jesy's situation. There's a lot of money going out than coming in. I don't know how she's going to make the money that she needs for her situation. So there will come a time when she needs those girls. And if she's acting like this, burning bridges, and remember, Perrie was the only one open enough to be like, you know what, I am willing to give it another go, right? She made that song for her, different points of view or something like that. Perrie publicly said, you know what, I think that we still have a shot. Now with this docuseries that just came out, the season 1, Perrie was like, nope, not anymore. So the repercussions are mounting up. So Jesy, you better figure out a plan B, because I don't know how much drama you can conjure up or figure out. Hold on one second. Let me play this clip.
Argue, friends bicker. A bigger thing that she left a really big group that was worldwide. I don't think she needs more stuff being thrown at her.
Perrie, leave her alone, please.
I don't know if this man even knows what's going on. This is such a gimmicky kind of show. Let's read some comments here. Jesy, of course, but I love all the girls. Okay, so it's okay for Jesy to bring up at every opportunity, but it's not okay for Perrie to tell her side. Yeah, the girls barely say anything, if they do at all. Perrie didn't bring up the drama. She's been quiet for years. Perrie, leave her alone. Mind you, she wouldn't have talked about this if it weren't for Jesy's documentary. Perrie all the way. Perrie always. Oh, because she's a mother, we all should... Oh, because she's a mom, so we all should forget about it. Not how it works, mate. Mate. Jesy has spoken about it. Perrie has every right to speak about it. Perrie doesn't need more views. She's doing better than Jesy. Oh, probably got some arguments in the comments. Perrie side, Team Perrie. Perrie every day. Perrie hasn't brought it up again because she's never brought it up in the past. The person that keeps bringing it up is Jesy. Okay. Looks like the public is Team Perrie.
You know what, Perrie Edwards? I would like to say thank you. I would like to thank you for your honesty, your transparency, and finally, the fucking truth. The truth. Perrie Edwards from Lil Mix went on a podcast and finally discussed where they're at with Jesy Nelson, or at least where she's at with Jesy Nelson. But I kind of feel like the girls feel the same way.
Can I just say that Leigh-Anne's been done, right? Remember... Let me not bring up Leigh-Anne too much, but remember there was a part in the documentary where Jesy was like, she had a sit down with the girls for the last time. It was like one of the last sit downs she's ever had with the girls, and she was spilling her guts, and one of the girls got up and said, "Is that all?" and walked away. Do y'all think that was Perrie? Like, who do you think got up and was like, "Is that all?" Like, I've always wondered about that.
But we'll get there. And she more or less said, Listen, babes, you ain't taking enough accountability for me. And that's where my frustration is lying. That documentary, that little think piece you put out, I'm not feeling that shit. And I'm also not feeling how you don't want to just say you were difficult. You were difficult. You were hard to deal with. Let's just be honest. And here's where I thank Perrie. Because Jade and Leigh-Anne are two women of color. And their career would have been looked at way differently if they would have said the same thing about Jesy.
Exactly. Like, I think, first of all, Perrie has gotten some pushback, but because of her privilege, she's gotten a lot more support. And I think she was the perfect person to say the things that she needed to say. On top of the fact that Jesy basically threw her under the bus in that docuseries. You know what I mean? Like, she was definitely setting, like, pointed, like, hate her way. Let me not say hate, but she definitely had a target for Perrie. Like, I think she felt personally betrayed by Perrie. Maybe when they parted ways, she expected Perrie to stick with her, but as we all know, things unfolded in a different way. So, you know. But yeah, Perrie's the perfect person to speak out.
Let's just be honest. Everyone already wanted to paint Leigh-Anne as the bad guy of why she left and what went on, and they had issues and shit like that. So that was already a throw off. Then at that point, Jade is trying to do something bigger. She's trying to come to the US, so she don't really got time to discuss in detail like what's going on, but she probably feel away too. And we really never got Perrie's point of view because Perrie and Jesy seem to be the closest. They seem to be the closest. So Perrie already wrote a song about that ass. Now Perrie is really like, listen, babes, I'm not feeling you. I'm not feeling you. I could forgive you, but I'm gonna have to forget you. You know?
Okay, you guys, so my neighbors decided to have a full-blown party next door. I don't know what's going on. Hold on one second. Y'all, how petty would it be if I actually call, like, the cops or something? Let me not call the cops, that's too much, but they're so loud out of nowhere. Maybe there's like a birthday celebration or something going on, but it's really annoying when I'm trying to record. But anyways, I agree with everything this man said. Let's look at some comments. She blew up that interview out of the water. She was mature, spoke her truth, was respectful, but still said exactly what she wanted and needed to say. So refreshing to hear someone speak the truth for everyone to hear. Jade said everything she needed to go in Natural at Disaster. Yeah, Jade's been speaking out her music. I think Natural at Disaster, people pointed out that it could be about Jesy, but I think she said it was about a relationship, but, you know, maybe she wanted to, like, have plausible deniability. Yeah, she's keeping it on the music. Natural Disaster by Jade, hidden these days. I can't speak. She acknowledged everything Jesy went through was valid, but there comes a point where it's okay to focus on your own journey. It seems to me that Jesy was getting support from the girls. It just that she wasn't getting it the way that she wanted, and because of that perspective, she'll never see what they did for her as support. Exactly. Ooh. No, I'm not gonna call them cops. Ooh. That's my shadow self. I hate loud noise like that. Like, I get celebrations and stuff like that, but if I can hear the vibrations of your music, I'm just like, why do we need music so loud? Like, I'm sensitive to, like, really, really loud music. But yeah, this commenter has a point. Like, because she didn't get the care that she wanted in the way that she wanted, and that's kind of selfish. That's selfish. That's very self-centered. You're not really thinking about the other person. And we noticed that during the whole docuseries. Like, she would, every once in a while, she'd be like, yeah, I wasn't being fair to this person. Like, you know, little throwaway comments like that. But you could tell that she is not someone who thinks about others in a real deep way. And I'm thinking now with this journey with her children, she has to change. Things are changing for her, or at least I'm hoping it is, because she has no choice. Now life has forced her to change, you know, like the universe has put her in a position where she is forced to care about others and to give the care that she's always wanted from other people, that she's always leaned on from other people. So in a way, it seems like the universe is like a, I don't know how to explain it, but the universe is working. It's correcting itself, basically. It's doing its thing with Jesy Nelson. You can tell she's been holding her tongue for years. Perrie is so real, rooting for her. Oh my god, the music is getting louder. Oh no, this can't. Y'all hear this? I'm calling them. I gotta call the cops. This is insane. This is insane. This is like a block party? Like, what's going on? This is so annoying. Y'all just ignore the music. You know, we got some reggae in the back. I can't imagine how hurtful it was for them to see Homegirl's mom say in that documentary that they weren't there enough for her. Mind you, when Little Mix first started, they were just teenagers. I can't imagine the pressure. How much help can kids give you? They're kids. Like, she needed professional help. And I said it in my last live that with all the stuff she's struggling with, she never really gives a name to it. She never really explains all the issues that she's going through. And I'm wondering if she's getting professional help. Because she needs professional help. It's not fair that she's leaning on all these people to help her out. Like, she needs professional help. As someone who's been a huge Little Mix fan since day one, I always loved the friendship and bond that Perrie and Jesy seemed to share. Seeing things end the way they did is honestly sad. I completely understand Perrie's frustration and the hurt that still may be there. Everyone is entitled to their feelings and experiences. However, one comment in the interview didn't sit right with me. Oh, okay. Perrie said that Jesy never seemed to take accountability or acknowledge how her departure affected the other girls. But from what I watched, especially in Jessy's documentary and various interviews afterwards, oh my god, the music got louder! At those people, bro. Okay, Perrie said that Jesy never seemed to take accountability or acknowledge how her departure affected the other girls, but from what I watched, especially in Jessy's documentary and various interviews afterwards, she repeatedly said things like what it must have been like for the other girls and openly reflected on how difficult the situation must have been. Okay, you see, saying those words, I mean, I would give it more credit if she hadn't made a docuseries throwing them under the bus. Right? You can say all the right things, but if your actions don't match up, it don't mean shit. Like, literally, it don't mean shit. If she really felt like that, if she really lived by these words, what it must have been like for the other girls, and openly reflected how difficult the situation must have been for them, she wouldn't have pinpointed out Perrie in that documentary, and whether inadvertently or advertently throw hate her way. If she really felt this way, the whole tone of that first season would have been way different. It would have been very reflective on Jesy, on how her issues manifest itself, what she's doing to solve her issues, how she's changed. None of that, honestly, none of that changed. You know, I feel like maybe she's picked up the right phrases and stuff like that. And again, this is back in season 1. Hopefully she's changed a lot in season 2. You know, with her daughters, you know, she's gonna have to change. But this falls flat when her actions don't match up. That's why the statement that she took, no accountability, doesn't really make sense to me. First of all, when I heard Perrie say it really makes her blood boil when someone doesn't take accountability, it seemed like she was remembering past conversations that they've had face to face. So I don't think Perrie was commenting on does that make sense? I feel like Perrie kind of went back in her past memories and past discussions they've had face to face. That's what I was getting from it. And she was saying that, maybe in reference to those past discussions. And again, I am really inferring a lot here. And maybe in those past discussions, Jesy would not take accountability. You know what I mean? That's what I think was happening. And again, you know, those statements fall flat when her actions don't match up. So it's all BS to me. You can still be hurt by them, but saying she's never acknowledged the impact on her group feels unfair based on what she publicly shared. At the end of the day, none of us truly knows what happened behind closed doors. Ooh. I just think it's possible to hold space for both perspectives, Perrie's pain and frustration, while also recognizing that Jesy did, on several occasions, express empathy for what the others girl. But did she act on that empathy? No. No. Because after that, how many people attacked Perrie after that docuseries? How many people attacked Leigh-Anne after that docuseries? You know what I mean? And now we know Leigh-Anne was with child, I think. And it's like history is repeating itself. It's insane. As a fan, I simply wish for all women happiness, healing and peace. The legacy they created together as Little Mix will always mean a lot to many of us. Okay, so what did someone say? No, she didn't, because if the girls really cared about anything but herself, she wouldn't have done what... The actions don't measure up. Jesy was always difficult to deal with. I'm glad Perrie spoke her truth. Well done, Perrie. At least Jesy spoke about what happened, while Perrie talked about Jesy without explaining what actually happened. Jesy talked about it like the girls didn't support her. Perrie focused on how and what she felt when she found out about that and told her opinion about it. She doesn't need to lie and add things for people to believe, because there are a lot of videos out there that supports what she said in that interview. Stop making it look like it was Perrie's fault for speaking up for herself and the Little Mix girls. Okay, so we're done. We're done with this. Let me see if I can go to the next clip.
Charges.
Actually, no, I think I'm done with the commentary for Jesy. So I already mentioned that her sister came out. Let me see if I can find the video on that.
I know we're always going.
Okay. So let's just check out the response from her sister. Jesy necessary blah 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 blah. No chat GPT, no Gemini, just a big sister speaking out because she's so tired of lies, accusations, and yes, people not taking accountability for their actions. You know what's so interesting? What exactly do they want from Perrie? You know what I mean? What accountability does Perrie need to do? Like, first of all, I need to know what she did wrong. You know what I mean? If we're going off the information that's publicly available, Jesy felt like she was abandoned. Let's say Perrie, quote unquote, abandoned Jesy. I'm sorry, I can't even. I don't even believe that. But let's say she abandoned Jesy. Do they want Perrie to come out and be like, yeah, I abandoned her? Because in a way, Perrie did say, I had to leave that situation because it was futile. Like, it wasn't giving me... It was depleting her, basically. So in a way, Perrie did admit to leaving Jesy, but she didn't just... But she left Jesy after years of support. You know what I mean? So in my head, I'm like, Perrie already told you that she left this girl because she was draining her. She gave her support. After a while, she left. Okay, so what do you want from Perrie now? Like, do you want her to say, I never supported her, I abandoned her, I'm a monster, blah, blah, blah? It's like, what's the point in all this? Yeah, comment down below, y'all. What is the point in all this? And, okay, I'm gonna just keep reading. Gosh, this music. Okay, so people say in life, be the bigger person, keep quiet, but actually, sometimes it just doesn't do any good. I've watched my sister go through hell and back for many years, and very few will ever understand what it's like to be talented, bullied, and pulled down for the way you look. It's really easy to say, just ignore it until you're in the situation yourself. You never really ever really know how it will affect them. But I think when you attempt to end your life, not once, but twice, it shows the dark place you must be in. And yes, that was with the lack of support many, many times. Again, why didn't Jesy get professional help? If you are dealing with so much issues like this, you can't just rely on everyday people. You need professional help and support. It is not fair to lean on regular everyday people. What did they want Perrie to do? Be the magic eraser to erase all of the damage and the pain? Like, I don't know what you expect from this girl. I can't really read this. As for taking accountability, that is actually all she's done. That's all she's done, you guys. So she banked she banked all the way left. That's all she's ever done, you guys. She's always taken accountability. Like, where was I? She's fully aware if she was blah 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 trying. I can't even read this. Wait, does she have a therapist? Hold up. Let me actually look this up. Y'all, hold on 1 second. Let me actually read the statement properly, because enjoy the lovely music from the islands. Okay. Okay, so I found it. Okay. As for not taking accountability, that's all she's ever done. She's fully aware she was hard work. She's fully aware she was hard work. She's fully aware she was hard to deal with. But through it all, if any other single person was struggling with a breakup anxiety life, she was there. Was she there? You know what? I can't say for sure, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Jesy is the kind of person who takes more than she gives. So I don't know if her reciprocation, was equivalent to the nurture and care that she required. So I'm gonna just leave it there. Isn't that what you do as a friend, or if you love someone? Again, they're acting like that Perrie or Leigh-Anne or Jade never gave her support. It's very much black or white, and there's little nuance. You know what I mean? There's nuance for Jesy apparently, but not for the other girls. Apparently, they didn't support her at all, and I'm guessing. You know what? Let me just not. So yes, you may learn lots from our therapist, but would a therapist ever say there's only so many times you can pick someone up? Wouldn't you know? Why doesn't Jesy know? Does Jesy have a therapist? Jesy should know. I'm getting worked up. This is too much. It's okay to be outspoken in interviews, songs, but the minute she tells her truth finally, it's funny, people don't seem to like it. It's always a shock when someone finally stands up for themselves. Maybe that's why we get angry and swear we can't believe it. But let me tell you something, there is always so much more someone could have said. So, how many times have we heard Jesy allude to the drama, speak on the drama, bring up the drama, make a whole docuseries on the drama, and compare that to the times that the girls have spoken up about it. If anything, the girls just want to leave it behind. It doesn't serve them to keep bringing this drama up. And that kind of makes me wonder, like, who is attacking Jesy constantly? Like, who are they talking about? Like, she's finally standing up for herself. Even in the documentary, she's like, I'm tired of all the lies and the drama. And I'm like, when the documentary came out, like, who was speaking on Jesy? Like, she became irrelevant. She hid in obscurity. Like, is this paranoia? Who was dragging Jesy Nelson? Like, I'm so confused. She hadn't been relevant in how many years? People stopped talking about her. Is it just like random trolls that she finds online? Like, what is she talking about? So in the comments, someone said Perrie's right. Someone said, oh, let's guess who spoke the hateful comment first. I don't remember who worked with Nicki Minaj, talked some shit about her other members on live stream. I don't remember who did that first. Why don't they all shut up and enjoy what they had in the privileged life that helped each other achieve? Without each other, they would never have made it solo. So shut up and get on with it. I just think when there three are going on, the one will always be in the most vulnerable position. Who is the three though? Like, again, Perrie, Leigh-Anne, and Jade don't speak about this. So what are you talking about ganging up on one person? I'm so confused. The one will always be the most vulnerable position and feel isolated, whereas the others have the advantage of being able to back each other up, which gives them an advantage. What is she talking about? This is why Jesy will continue to be the way she is. It wasn't hateful. It was honest. Just like Jesy POV was honest. We'll never know the full truth of what really happened behind the scenes, but all parties involved have a right to speak their mind. Exactly. Perrie wasn't hateful at all. She stated Jesy isn't a monster and it's not all her fault, but she feels herself and the other girls did support her though. Did support her through it all, and she had to stop to protect her own mental health as they felt Jesy didn't want the help. Hard one because I love them both. Jesy has been through a bloody lot. That's it. Let me just go back to this, right?
Closed doors, and in respect and solidarity, say nothing. Jesy Nelson's older sister Jade has released a statement responding and addressing Perrie Edwards' interview with Jamie Lang. She says, no chat GBT, I think mean P hun, no do any good. Have we missed the part where she was quiet? She had a documentary that came out as soon as she left, which she was entitled to because she went through a horrible experience. And she's explained in multiple interviews the reason that she left was because of all the trolling and the comparisons. But she brought up the girls first, and continued to bring up the girls. And finally, after 6 years and your sister releasing a second documentary, one of the girls has finally addressed it. I've watched...
Yeah, there's no winning. Jesy needs serious help. You know what I mean? There's no winning here. It's exhausting. But I feel like more and more the public is actually, you know, starting to see the real Jesy, starting to see her not so good behavior. And again, hopefully, let me know if y'all want me to do season 2, because I think season 2 we're gonna see a whole different side to her, where she's forced to evolve and change. Okay, I thought Perrie said it really well in the podcast. With Jesy Nelson, it seems like she's the only one who comes out to socials and does interviews to play the woe is me card, especially when talking about the girls. Then later she brings up her mental health and paints herself as the victim. She had no problem criticizing the girls publicly, but the moment they called her out on her own shitty behavior, she acts like she's the only one who suffered the most. There never seems to be any accountability. She never criticized the girls publicly. Fact is she's a victim. She can be both, you guys. She can be a victim and a... Let me not say that. She can be a victim and also someone who causes harm. Perrie had her right to respond. Perrie didn't say anything bad. Couldn't have... You know what's so interesting? Perrie was the most popular member of the band. So when you go after her, it's like that's a tough hill to climb. So she kind of... Yeah, I don't know how she thought she was going to get away... How she was going to get away with that, but... Her sister needs to wind her neck in. I'm a big sister, so I get the wanting to defend and sticking up for your little sister. But her sister will only ever know Jesy's side of the story, so she'll never actually know the truth. Jesy has been allowed to talk and talk, but the others can't. No, wild behavior. Did anyone else find the no chat got in no Gemini opening odd? Is this? I don't know. I think there's an expectation that at the end you should treat your friends like therapists, and unfortunately, as hard as it sounds, that's not fair expectation. Exactly. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so this is a pro Jesy supporter. You know, I try to make it balanced, but you know, I think she's already gonna piss me off. Her response is already like 7 minutes long. We're just gonna break this up real quick. I'm not gonna sit through like almost 10 minutes of her response. So let's see what she has to say.
I must say that I am very, very in awe of Jesy's sister, Jade. If you haven't seen, she has posted on another platform in defence of Jesy after Perrie did the podcast for Jamie Lang. Now, as I said earlier, I really don't understand where Perrie's coming from, because at the end of the day, when Jesy left, there was nothing but love. She didn't say anything bad about them. She literally said behind the scenes, it was toxic. I had to leave. I wanted to make the girls happier. So I went. Then when she did her podcast, her documentary, she turned around and said that she was hard work. She knows she was unsupportive at times.
So I think the reason why Perrie was really emotional was because Jesy went out of her way to tell about the story of this quote-unquote unknown band member who wanted to leave. And Jesy had this whole story about how she berated this band, well, not berate, how she wasn't there for this band member. And I had to go back and really rewatch how she painted the story, but she was just like, apparently Jesy was devastated. I think it was back in 2019, maybe 2018, where this person wanted to leave, and a lot of people have pointed out that it could be Perrie, and how Perrie's mental health was not doing so well either at this time, and how, you know, at the time when Jesy heard the news, all she could think about was the pain and hurt that she was feeling, and so she wasn't there for this band member. So that was to me, that's a crack in the foundation. Okay, if we are to believe that Perrie was the one who wanted to leave Little Mix, and that set everything in motion for them to go on hiatus initially, and Jesy mentioned out of her own mouth that she was not supportive of this person, that could be a reasonable crack in the foundation of Perrie stopping the support of Jesy, right? And so, and it's kind of funny because, you know, a few years later, Jesy turned around and did the same thing. And I'm pretty sure she was met with loads of support, unlike this band member who first came out and did it. And, I don't know, I feel like that was a point of contention. So I don't think Perrie would ever forget that. But comment down below why y'all think Perrie, why she highlighted Perrie, or why you think there is a target towards Perrie. Like, there's something going on there between the two. Like, there's something outside the girls, like between them two especially. There's something going on there. This lady's about to piss me off, but let's listen to like a minute or two more.
Didn't give her all, and she's sorry for the way she left. She also turned around and said, even after everything, she loves the girls. Then she did address the blackfishing, saying, I didn't mean to cause controversy, and I've learnt from it. So every step of the way, after 5 years.
Very cheap words. I learned from it. What did you learn from it? Why not go in depth with that? Interesting, right? Okay, let's continue.
Jesy did apologise, did hold herself accountable, and did make sure that people knew that sometimes she was the issue. Really, really proud of her, because when you've got me.
You know what? I'm actually going to skip this video because this lady's pissing me off, but you know what's so interesting is that Perrie did all these things too. Like, she also said that she wasn't always there. This, that, and the third. She held space for Jesy, saying that, you know, she had reason of being difficult, stuff like that. So why are people disappointed in Perrie when she gave a very balanced and very honest answer? You know what I mean? That just shows you that either one, they didn't like Perrie saying anything at all. They just wanted her to sit there and take it. Or yeah, like, I think that's the main issue. Why say anything at all? They don't like her speaking up at all because they feel attacked, and that just shows you who you are as a person. I mean, you could say you didn't like how Perrie insinuated that Jesy never took accountability, but people refer to the documentary, and I think Perrie is referring to their personal conversations. So again, Perrie was still kind of vague in that specific part of her response. It makes her blood boil when people don't take accountability. I think she meant about her personal conversations. I don't think she meant about the documentary or Jessy's public statements. But even then, it's like, yeah, I think Perrie is coming from a personal place. So she's not going to take into account all the public stuff. I think she's going to take account to the personal memories. But let me move on. La 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 la, Jessy's response. Girls, oh, let me play the overlay. TikTok. Ooh, the sound went down. Okay, great. Let me see if I can find the video. I'm trying to find the video of like how the girls responded after this whole dilemma. Okay, so we're gonna see how Jesy responds to Perrie. Bruh. I'm so sorry, I forgot I wasn't playing the video. Ooh, forgive me. Okay. This is Jessy's response to Perrie. Okay.
Jesy Nelson has responded after Perrie Edwards addressed their feud during a new interview with Jamie Lang. Perrie made it clear that part of her wanted to repair the friendship, but Jessy's documentary, Life After Little Mix, changed that again. On the podcast, Perrie spoke about Jesy again. We're not that close anymore, she said, and we're not in each other's lives, before adding, I still feel everything that the girl feels, and I think they're the same. But when Jamie asked if Perrie could ever see herself repairing the friendship, Perrie said, part of me wanted to until the documentary. and then part of me withdrew again. She also said, I don't have the capacity for somebody like that in my life anymore, before adding, as much as I will always love her, I don't think I can hack that energy in my space. Now Jesy has stepped in and left a comment under a clip of Perrie's interview about their feud and said, just want this behind me, to be honest. Personally, I think Jesy's comment makes the tension clearer. Perrie's explaining why she pulled away, while Jesy sounds tired of their fallout being discussed publicly again. It feels like Perrie is closing the door emotionally.
Again, if you make public comments, don't be surprised when people make responses to your comments. It's annoying, but you know what? I think after this, I think this is truly the last of it. I'm going to try to get my hands on season 2. Again, I've been saying this throughout the live. Let me know if you want me to review it, break it down. We have a watch party like we did with season 1. But I think this might be the end of it. Like, I truly believe this won't conjure up again. Let's see if I can find the other responses to this drama. Okay, so Jade apparently had threw a response in the mix. Let me see what she said. Hold on one second.
Has reacted to Perrie Edwards addressing Jade Thirlwall has reacted to Perrie Edwards addressing her feud with Jesy Nelson. People are paying close attention to what Perrie said on the Great Company podcast with Jamie Lang. Perrie spoke about Jesy and said, we're not that close anymore and we're not in each other's lives, before adding, I still feel everything that the girl feels and I think they're the same. But when Jamie asked if Perrie could ever see her repairing the friendship, Perrie said, part of me wanted to until the documentary, and then part of me withdrew again. She also said, I don't have the capacity for somebody like that in my life anymore. As much as I will always love her, I don't think I can hack that energy in my space. Now Jade has stepped in and left a comment under a clip of Perrie speaking about her feud with Jesy and said, sending all my love.
Very subtle, but I think if you know the situation, it speaks volumes. You know, Jade is very ambitious. She wants to cross over to the US, so she doesn't want to kick up too much drama, but, you know, kudos to her for standing with her band member. Literally, right when I start to speak, the music gets louder. It's insane. Keep one volume.
Perrie Edwards.
Okay, so apparently Jesy. Apparently Perrie responded to Jessy's sister calling her out. So we're gonna watch what she allegedly responded, and then we're about near the end of this.
Has reacted to Jesy Nelson's sister. Perrie Edwards has reacted to Jesy Nelson's sister, calling her out, and she's not backing down. A massive feud has happened after Perrie made very outspoken comments about Jesy leaving Little Mix. Perrie spoke on a podcast and admitted she could not imagine the pair ever becoming friends again. Perrie suggested that Jesy had been quite challenging to work with during her final years in the band. Perrie said that what upsets her most is when people do not take accountability for their actions. But Jesy's sister Jade Nelson has now delivered a strong response. Jade argued that outsiders underestimate how bad things were and stated that Jesy had always accepted responsibility for everything that happened. Jade also said, I've watched my sister go through hell and back for many, many years, and very few will ever understand what it's like to be Jade Thirlwall.
I don't mean to sound callous or whatever, but like at this point in the game, I think her family and friends need to have an intervention with Jesy and sit her down and tell her that she needs professional help. Her and with her household as well, because what she expects from the people around her is just is a lot. You know, I said in my last live, like you could tell that she relies on her boyfriend for happiness, her mom, all these external factors. She's not really good at self-regulating, so I hope she got professional help. But tell me what you think down below. So that was Perrie's response to Jesy's sister Jade, and you know what's so funny is that Perrie, she said what she said. I think she just was like.
After Perrie's interview, Jade appears to be showing support for Perrie at a time when Perrie is being very honest about why she. Perrie Edwards has reacted to Jesy care what Jesy. She obviously doesn't seem. Perrie said, I spoke my truth.
That's it. Perrie said, I said what I said. That's it. And you know what she did next? She got married. She got married and it trended all over social media. So let's see some videos. The only thing I could find was like performance videos from her wedding. So let's watch it.
I have been crying and crying for weeks. How'd I survive when I can barely sleep, barely eat, on my knees?
But that's the moment you came to me. I don't know what your love's done to me, yeah. It's unbelievable. See, you're the me I used to be, yeah. Say,
you changed my whole life.
Don't know what you're doing to me with your life.
Oh crap, I forgot to mute myself, but hopefully the audio is not too bad, but I love Superhuman. Chris Brown has two of my favorite R&B duets, No Air and Superhuman. Let's see. Don't let go. Let's watch this clip. Don't let go.
What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend, yeah. Don't you wanna be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. You have the right to lose control. Don't let go. Sing it with me. I often tell myself that we could be more than just friends. I know you think that if we move too soon, then it will all end. I live in misery.
I don't know what's going on here. The music is too good to not be jumping. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's too early, but it's like, come on now. I expect more. But, you know, it's actually a really good affair. They actually had like a lot of performance videos uploaded from her wedding, and they sound great. I'm glad she literally just dipped and was like, you know what? I said what I said. I'm getting married. Whatever. All celebration, all good vibes. And it's funny because during this time, people were mustering up new drama, saying that neither Leigh-Anne nor Jade showed up at the wedding. And I was like, I actually believed it. I was like, wait, I don't see them anywhere over there. Like, is that true? And it turns out that Leigh-Anne was there. And I think Jade was there as well. I think she had to leave early because she had a, you know, engagement she had to do. But some tea here. So Leigh-Anne was there. She was just trying to be incognito because she was with child and she wasn't ready to reveal it to the public yet. So I was like, oh, so when she had her pregnancy reveal, I was like, oh, okay. I was gonna go into the Zion breakup with Jesy, but I'm not gonna go into it too much because I am kind of getting tired of Jesy. If y'all didn't know, Jesy and Zion broke up, like, I want to say January or when was it? I think they broke up shortly after the season 1 premiered. So we're just gonna talk about it real quick. Just gonna put in my 2 cents and then that's it. Okay.
Jesy Nelson is giving a shout out to her ex. Weeks after the Little Mix alum shared that her and Zion Foster's 8-month-old daughters, Ocean Jade and Story Monroe, were diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy type 1, or SMA, she's getting candid about the couple's amicable decision to break up. Jesy tells the Daily Mail in an interview published February 2nd, "We have been through such a traumatic experience, and for us, our girls are our main priority and our main focus. We want to give them the most positive, happy, and uplifting time and energy. And because we have both been through such a traumatic experience, the energy wasn't right between us, which is understandable." The 34-year-old continues, "We are still friends and we are still united in co-parenting our daughters. They are our main focus. That's all we can do. Be the best possible parents we can right now." The split comes 4 months after the pair announced their engagement. The duo began dating in 2022. Amid her baby's ongoing health battle, the X Factor Season 8 winner is focused on putting one foot in front of the other.
Okay, so here's the thing. Y'all know I talked about this relationship during my last live, and I said, I think they have a 7-year age gap. It's almost 10 years, right? 7-year or 8-year age gap, right? And with the situation with their kids, I was asking everyone, I'm like, he's a kid his damn self. I don't know how much of a help he's gonna be. Like the financial burden or the burden to really raise these kids is gonna be on Jesy primarily. You know, he doesn't have the means to take care of them the way that they should. Or let me not say he doesn't have the means, but Jesy has been in the industry for 10 years, so she has some coin, no doubt. He, on the other hand, I don't know what he has, but I have to make the assumption that he doesn't got it like that, like she does. And so with this breakup, it's like she's gonna bear more of the burden. Like, I'm sure he's gonna be in the picture, but he can only do so much. He doesn't have a lot, I don't think. So that's why you got to be careful, like who you decide to procreate with. I'm not saying it's her fault, but like, I'm pretty sure if she picks someone on her level, a situation like this happens, she can equally rely on her partner, because Zion can't really do much in this situation. And there's a creator on here who talks about Jesy Nelson now being a baby mama, and honestly, I didn't think many American bloggers knew about Little Mix, so let's just give it a little quick view.
I'm back with another triggering topic. Now, here's another episode of the Preference to Baby Mama Pipeline. Now, this episode is featuring Jesy Nelson from Little Mix, and if you're asking yourself, who the heck is that? Well, she's an English singer. She got fame from being a member of the girl group Little Mix, who was formed during the 8th season of The X Factor in 2011. She also went solo as well, and she received a lot of flack for her blackfishing and Black American cultural appropriation in her music video for her single Boys featuring Nicki Minaj. Now, I will never, ever in my life forgive Onika Mirage for her many instances of coonery, but I do remember when people had questions about Jesy, a woman who looked like this, turning into this for a music video with darkened skin and kinky curly wigs on, with grills and overalls and Tim boots, talking about bad boys and hood dudes, using slang from a culture that she is not a part of. Matter of fact, she doesn't even live in the country. And I remember Nicki Minaj gaslighting Black American women specifically and telling them that they can't and shouldn't be mad because Black girls wear weave and blonde hair, as if that is cultural appropriation, seeing as though blonde hair belongs to no specific group, and also seeing as though only 2% of the world.
When people are like, Black people culturally appropriate, they wear blonde wigs and all that stuff, I'm like, that actually stemmed from white supremacy, from them making us feel like our hair or our aesthetic or our phenotype wasn't beautiful, wasn't value. And so people run to look as white as possible. Right? It all stems from like racial insecurity. Right? And it also it allows you to have more access to resources, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not wearing it like a costume. You know, if I see a Black girl with blonde hair and stuff like that, never wearing her natural hair, I'm not thinking cultural appropriation. I'm thinking she probably has low racial self-esteem. This is a girl who only, like, I'm not saying every once in a while they wear the wigs. I'm saying that they constantly wear the wigs. You never see the natural hair. It's always straight. Blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking they have low self-esteem. Let me not say low racial self-esteem. I feel like that's a new buzzword. They have low self-esteem. They're running to be as white as possible in a way because they've been taught that that is good and that whatever Blackness that they inhibit is bad. So I'm thinking that they're dealing with something internal. I'm not thinking cultural appropriation. I'm thinking that they're dealing with racism and white supremacy. That is what I'm thinking. But tell me what you think down below.
World's of these appropriate is such nutty behavior. So disrespectful that I can't even stand it. But nonetheless, I find out that this woman is now a baby mama to a Black man named Zion Foster that she has been dating off and on since 2022. And apparently she was engaged, but now they are broken up because he left her shortly after the birth of their twins because he couldn't handle the strain. It blew my mind because I saw this article on the Shade Borough that said their twins had been diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy, and that apparently impacted her relationship with her man, Zion. And as you see, this is what she says. She says, you'll either be a team or it'll tear you apart. And unfortunately, I feel that's what it's done to me and Zion. It's just me and mom now. Now, opening up about his own challenges, Zion stated, I'm not equipped to deal with this. I'm out of my depth, emotionally, physically, and mentally. At the moment, I'm surviving.
Again, this man is in his early 20s. He's a kid himself. So it's like, I want to give him some grace. I know when the breakup was announced. Actually, no, when to publicize season 2, they were promoting Jessy's comments on the situation, and it sparked a lot of backlash against Zion. People thought he was a deadbeat dad, and then people were like, wow, you're making this black guy look bad. A lot of things were happening online, and let me just say, his response, it's like, I can understand where he's coming from, but I do wonder what role he does play in the kids' lives, because he doesn't really have that much money. I'm only assuming that because I saw his mom's house, and he is young, and he is just starting out, so I'm assuming he doesn't have much, right? I'm not trying to be, like, shady or anything. He's a kid himself. His first kids ends up being special needs, and I can only imagine how hard that is, right? Especially when you don't have the means. So I hope he's there a lot to help out with the watching of the kids or something. But yeah, his response, I was like, understandable.
Just need to get help. What? So you mean to tell me that you will leave a new mother that is recently given birth, that is dealing with, unfortunately, disabled little babies, and because you feel stressed, you're dipping? Well, if you're out of your depth, what do you think that she is? Because she has to deal with postpartum.
Okay, so she didn't read his whole statement. He reiterates that he is in his kids' lives and that Jesy is the one who ended the relationship. So he did not leave her. Jesy left him, from what I gather from his statement. So this is kind of misleading. Crap, do I ever want to read his statements? Hold up. Let me see. So this is his comment. Zion Foster, the singer and former partner of Little Mix and star Jesy Nelson, has broken his silence, saying Jesy ended the relationship, insisting he never abandoned their twin daughters, remaining committed and supported them throughout their rare medical journey. Zion Foster, the singer, blah, 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 blah. In a lengthy statement shared on Instagram, Zion said his remarks about feeling out of his depth were never intended to suggest he was walking away from his responsibilities as a father. Instead, he said he is describing the fear and overwhelmed of suddenly having to navigate a weird and complex medical diagnosis that he knew nothing about. Okay, I've stayed quiet because my focus has always been on where it should be on my children. Reading some of the comments over the last few days have been incredibly painful because they are simply not true. And when I said I was out of my depth, I wasn't saying I was walking away from my children or abandoning my responsibilities as a father. I was talking about the overwhelming reality of suddenly facing a rare and complex medical diagnosis that I knew nothing about. I was being honest. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the experience. I was scared. I was trying to process emotions that no parent ever hopes to face. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the experience. I was scared. I was trying to process emotions that no parent ever hopes to face. Being out of my depth, I meant I was learning. It meant I was trying to understand. It never meant I didn't love my daughters or that I wasn't going to be there for them. I love my girls more than words could ever express. They are my world and always will be. The end of the relationship doesn't mean the end of fatherhood. Jesy made the decision to end our relationship, and although I respect that, it doesn't change the fact that I remain committed to my daughters in every way I possibly can. I attend every appointment. I educate myself every single day about their condition. I ask questions. I listen. I learn. I support them however I can because I am their father, and it's been the greatest responsibility and privilege of my life. The journey has been heartbreaking for all of us. Nobody prepares you for new stuff like this, and we're all navigating it in our own way. I feel the pain alongside Jesy because these are our children, and I will always want what's best for them. Please don't mistake vulnerability for abandonment. They're not the same thing. So he is in their lives. From the statement, asking for help or admitting you don't have all the answers doesn't make someone a bad father. It makes them human. I know who I am. The people closest to me know the truth. Most importantly, one day my daughters will know that I never stopped loving them, never stopped fighting for them, and never stopped being their dad. Thank you for everyone who has shown compassion, kindness, and understanding. It means more than you'll ever know. Okay? So people are like, why is this news? And apparently he wasn't at some events they had. I didn't have knowledge. I didn't have the experience. Neither did Jesy. Well, he's still in their lives, so I don't know what they expect from him. She ended the relationship. I mean, he's still in there. Like, what? All of this, but he didn't say why she ended it. These men. I mean, he's still in their lives. I don't understand why. Am I misreading this? Like, y'all comment down below. He made it clear that he's in their lives. I don't know to what capacity, but he's in their lives. If it was true, surely he'd have correct the media narrative a long time ago. Again, showing Jesy who she really is. Okay, whatever. He's still in their lives. That's all I care about. So I'm like, okay, nothing to worry about here, right? Still in their lives. He's still a dad. Okay, that's it. End up. Okay.
And also all of the stress that goes along with raising disabled children. But once again, you have these women that want to culturally appropriate. They want to put on the whole outer appearance of a fake black girl and get into black culture and engage with these black men, but then are flabbergasted when they get the treatment that black women have been yelling and hooting and hollering about they're tired of receiving. It's
okay, so I didn't know how this video was going to turn out, and it's going in a direction where I'm not really gung-ho about. I think in the video with E! News, Jesy mentioned that a major reason for the breakup was because of the children's special needs. So he didn't want to leave. I mean, we don't really know what happened. She said it was stressful for both of them, so I guess she made the call. I don't know what really happened, but he's still in their lives. That's all that matters. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, we're gonna talk about her trailer, and also some good news came Jessy's way. So first, let's watch the trailer for season 2 of Jesy Nelson: Life Changing.
It's the most severe muscle disease a baby can have. You can be so happy, and then like that, everything can change. You get bombarded with hospital appointments. My whole life has changed. Your brain is just like, I think she's going to struggle. I don't know how we're going to do this. I feel like I'm going to feel heartbroken for the rest of my life.
I refuse to let anyone go through this again. If it's caught from birth, it is so life-changing.
It blows my mind.
Not only she exhausted herself with the girls, she's also doing it to help everyone else.
They could have been able to walk and run and live how a child should live. That's the part that I will never be able to accept.
So I already have a feeling that season 2 is going to be a heavy watch, and it's also going to be the reckoning of Jesy Nelson. But again, let me know if you guys want me to review it or not. Most likely I will, but okay, let's look at the captions here and some comments. I'm not really sure where to start with this one. All I can say is that I urge everyone to watch this documentary. It's been the most heartbreaking series I've ever had to make, but it's one that needed to be made if you're ever going to see real change. This is only a small glimpse into what my girls have gone through every single day. It's a reality that so many children born with SMA have to endure, and this is only the beginning of their lives. I truly hope this helps people understand why the heel prick test and treatment from birth are so incredibly vital. Early diagnosis can change everything. I'll keep saying it until no family has experiences again. No future babies born with SMA should have lived their lives like this. Should have lives that look like this. Okay, so it came out yesterday. Do children in England not get a heel prick test done, or is it just the specific thing that they don't test for? All my babies have done a heel prick test, so just curious. It's different if it's different in Scotland. Can't wait to watch this when I get home. Beautiful. I just watched this and was in awe of you and all the families fighting for your change. Keep going, girl. Your girls are lucky to have such an amazing mom. I'm speechless. You've blown my mind. What a good, strong mother you are. You're the best woman I've ever seen in life. God is with you. And you can be proud of what you are doing in the world, even here in Switzerland. I don't know that really that this exists. You're really important to the world. That's what I believe. About to watch it. You're amazing. Okay, good. So this season could be a pivotal point in her life. Or I guess in her career. So, I'm actually kind of scared to watch it, but hey. Okay, so let me actually get on to good news. So not apparently, Jesy succeeded. She got the government to actually do the heel prick test.
Now, earlier this year, Little Mix star Jesy.
So she got the UK government, Parliament or whatever, to actually implement the heel prick test, if I'm understanding this right, and things are looking good. So we're just going to watch a little clip about that.
Jesy Nelson revealed her twin daughters Ocean and Story may never walk after being diagnosed with the muscular disease spinal muscle atrophy, also known as SMA type 1.
Now, if the condition is caught early enough, treatment can be life-changing. So since her twins' diagnosis, Jesy has campaigned tirelessly for all newborn babies to be screened for the condition.
So thanks to Jesy, SMA screening will start in England later this year. But sadly, that only applies to 72% of the country, meaning many babies would be missing out.
So Jesy got back to work and this week met with Health Secretary James Murray, who agreed to roll out the testing out to all newborns in England. So, I mean, congratulations, Jesy. We're so proud of you. Honestly. No, what you have done for all babies is unbelievable. It makes me feel a little bit bittersweet because obviously it's sweet because everyone's going to benefit from this. All their babies are going to benefit, but a little bit bitter in the fact that your children and other children don't benefit from this. But how are you feeling?
Do you know what? Every time people ask me this, I actually don't know what to say because yesterday I couldn't stop crying. I just felt so emotional, and it was that feeling of like, as proud as I feel, it's also a very bittersweet moment, and I've had so many messages of like from mums and families saying that, and I noticed it was really hard for a lot of people to take that news who obviously didn't get the heel prick test at birth, who have even lost their babies, which is just devastating. But at the end of the day, I am super proud, and there's been a whole community that have got it to this place. Like, this isn't just me. Like, this has been going on for years now, and there's been families that have worked tirelessly to get it to this point. And so,
Takes a village, right?
100%. You guys were a part of it as well. Do you know what I mean? And I just, honestly, I just feel so proud that everyone got behind it and got it to...
We're just so proud to give you that voice piece.
Thank you so much.
Must have been, like Ali said, it must have been kind of bittersweet. Also, just...
So I'm just going to cut this short. We all know what it's about. I really want to keep this live around 2 hours, maybe 2.5. Yeah, kudos to Jesy. Kudos to all the new parents out there. Let me just see some comments. Bless her heart. May God give her the strength to carry on and look after her beautiful babies. Well done, Jesy. I live in Wales, so keep fighting for Wales and Northern Ireland. All babies deserve it. Also, apparently Wales and Ireland need the heel prick test. Oh my gosh. I mean, I thought it was like a standard over there, and it was just England. It is a shame she has to go through so much pain to see her babies suffer. But at the same time, it's a blessing that her being famous and shedding light on such an important cause would change many children's lives. God bless her. We all got behind you because no one wants to see a child suffer. If you do more petitions for Northern Wales and Ireland, for Wales and Northern Ireland, I would sign it. Well done, Jesy. Sending love to you and the girls. Thank you, Jesy. I'll keep you, your beautiful girls, and the babies in Northern Ireland in my prayers. Jesy's a star in literally every realm. She has always been so unselfish with the challenges life has dealt her. She really is a hero. Well done, Jesy. Bless her heart, darling. So proud of Jesy in the documentary. Well done, Jesy. How wonderful it's been. It's been passed. Well done. What? Well done, Jesy. Jersey. Oh, how wonderful. Okay, whatever. Amazing dog. So proud. Spinal muscular atrophy, first clinically described in 1890. Spinal muscular atrophy patients and raising awareness over 20 years in Australia. Okay. Okay, so a lot of good comments, and again, I think things are looking up for Jesy. So I just want to end it in a light note. Further with Leigh-Anne, because she just announced her pregnancy. Sorry, I don't want to get copywritten because, you know, last time I played her music, I got copywritten. So I wonder if she's gonna have a boy. So interesting. Let's look at some comments. I literally gasped. Congratulations, congratulations, Ma. Congratulations again. And all of this was happening literally within days or weeks of each other. Like, so much stuff is happening with the Little Mix girls. It was insane. Let me actually look at some of the comments from her TikTok, actually. Hold on one second, y'all. Oh, okay, it's not available. Never mind. 1 second. Okay, so Leigh-Anne did an ad for Body Shop UK and she looks fabulous.
My power, especially the last couple of years. I'm being my most authentic self. It feels amazing, and I hope to empower other people to do the same. It's coming back.
You know what's so funny is that she did a Maybelline ad when she was pregnant as well. Lord have mercy. She went to Wimbledon. Okay, yeah, here's the post. Let's see the comments here. Hearts, congratulations, mother, congrats, queen, congratulations. You better drop that deluxe album on Spotify. Oh yeah, she also released her film. So a lot was happening. Congratulations. Apparently she was pregnant on tour earlier this February, so I don't know how many months she is. If it's, Lord have mercy. I don't even know. Can we say 6 months maybe? I don't know. I'm just throwing out a guess. Congratulations. You know what's selfish of me? I thought, oh, she's not gonna come to America until like probably next year. But I'm so happy she's growing her family. Speaking of which, I just wanted to actually talk about her interview that she did. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, so Leigh-Anne did an interview that kind of made the rounds with one particular moment. When she wanted to live here, but there's so many things against her that she can't really, that's not really feasible. So, yeah, I just want to highlight like a few moments from this interview. I quickly watched it, and I literally have like 10 plus things bookmarked, but let me just quickly go through them, right? So around this mark, she talks about trying to, well, you know what? Let me not go there. She talks about colorism at one point and about how tricky it is being colorism works in her favor, and yet she wants to use it to benefit all of her people. So let's listen to it.
Because like you want to do the right thing, you want to speak out, and I thought it was a very profound thing that you asked when you were in that roundtable discussion of like, do you think that I would have had the opportunity to be in this band if I wasn't a light-skinned Black woman?
I don't know if I would have been.
And Ray was like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't think so. And it is, I feel that 100% because you feel that kind of like, would I even be accepted in this space? Would I even have a seat at the table if it wasn't for colorism? It's worked to my benefit, but how can I use it to make sure that everybody else gets through the door too?
Well, this is it. Exactly.
Exactly. And so that is, it's a double-edged kind of sword, but you can use it for good. And I think that is exactly what you did.
Yeah.
And so I loved it. And I get the discourse because.
So watching this is why I kind of love how Leigh-Anne does her interviews. She talks about things that most people shy away from, right? She's not the most provocative or the most profound, but you know, I just like how she kind of toggles the line of being, how do you say, lighthearted. There is brevity, but there's also realness with her. So this part, I was like, yes, people need to talk about this more. I might just clip it and post it on Twitter or something. But I think I think Leigh-Anne understands her position. And I think it gets clearer and clearer every year as she's navigating this space, trying to advocate for Black female artists in pop and in the English music industry in general. Most people, when she came out with her documentary, tried to discredit her, saying that she was mixed race. What does she know about this, that, and the third? But I'm like, I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, how many people have the privilege and the power to speak on a topic like this on a big platform, right? So it's like the fact that she's using her privilege to really speak on something real, to kind of solve an issue. This is someone who I'm like, yes, there is mixed race heritage. I don't really consider her mixed because, you know, her parents are the mixed ones. She doesn't have the white parent. Her grandma is white. Same with this interviewer. Her grandma is white. Still, you want people like these, like people like them, to use their privilege to advocate for other people. And it is tricky trying to advocate for people and not try to take up space too much. And yeah, it's great. It's a great thing to see. It's great that she spoke on it. Now let's go to the part where she talks about America. Okay.
Everything has to happen here. If you don't pop here, then like it doesn't matter where you're from and how, because there are artists from all over the world who some American audiences don't know. And it feels like a lot of the industry operates from like an American lens of like, if you can't get an American audience, then it doesn't really matter. You could have millions of dollars overseas and like be the biggest artist somewhere else and have the most streams and all this. But if Americans don't know you, then what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's more if you're big in America, you're set. You're big everywhere. Like, if you get America, you've done it.
But why?
You know? It's just how it is. However,
I don't get it.
I think
I do, but I don't.
Yeah, you can also be like huge in Germany, or you could be like, I've got a lovely, amazing fan base in Brazil. So like, I make sure that I go back there every year because it just makes me feel so happy.
Yeah.
I just love that place so much.
And they love you.
It's just the best. But I think as well, like now, having experienced everything that I've experienced, like, I'm going where I'm loved.
Yeah.
You know, like. Yeah.
I would kill for Leigh-Anne to actually have like a second home here or something. And I know the question, like, why is it like that? America is the biggest music market in the world. So it's like when people say you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I think we have the biggest, I think maybe it's Bollywood, but I think we have the biggest film industry, but maybe that's Bollywood. I'm not too sure. But it's not just a random thing. Like, our music industry is the biggest in the world. There's a lot more money in it. We have a lot of people fueling it. So honestly, a breakout act in England is equivalent to a breakout act in California or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know, it's a bigger country, more people, bigger industry, more money pumping through it. So, you know, there's more opportunities here for Black artists too as well in comparison to England. So It is what it is.
That helps my mental health.
Yes.
But for me, America's always been somewhere that's just so important for me. Like even in the group, like it's like we scratched the surface. Like we did good, like, but we never really cracked it. We just didn't stay here. And it's always been my dream to have my own tour in America. Like, we never toured. We never had our own tour in America. We
Really?
We supported Ariana and Demi.
Yeah. But that's not like a personal
our
tour.
own tour, and it was honestly like shoulda, woulda, coulda. So many like, but I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
But I think,
you know what I would love? I would love a festival tour from Leigh-Anne, as well as a tour from her. I want both. I want a lot more tape performances from her. You know what I mean? Just a thought out there. Tell me what y'all want from her. Because I would want both. A festival, maybe a radio tour, a record store tour. That'd be great.
like even when we did the Demi and Ariana tour, like the whole arena knew who we were. Like was screaming for us, and it was like, guys, come on, like label, management, like what are you doing? Like we're known, like we have something here, like we should be finessing it, but it just never happened really. So yeah, I definitely feel like there is a market here for me, and there is like a fan base that I can sort of keep nurturing, but yeah, I have to be here. And I'll be honest, like it is really hard, like with kids, like my girls go to school in the UK. Like if I come here, I can only really do 2 weeks at a time. I want to move to New York, but my husband doesn't want to.
Oh. Girl.
This was the part I reacted to on social media, and I was just like, well, I can't believe that he won't move here, and he's moved all over the place, and this, that, and the third. And it's like, when she explains her reasonings, I understand why, but also at the same time, I'm like, but why did her husband have the privilege to, you know, it's kind of like a gender thing as well. Like, he got to move everywhere. She got to hold on the fort, take care of the kids. And I'm sure she doesn't want, she wants to move to America, but she also wants her kids there too as well. Whereas her husband just moved off on his own and didn't have the kids and would visit. So I think she would want the kids with her constantly. But, you know, it's not logistical, but I will say that the perfect time to do this would have been when they were really itty bitty before they started school. But again, she had to sacrifice that time for her husband, because her husband was out in Turkey. So he got to benefit from the kids being so small to take that opportunity to go and move to Turkey and make that money. Well, I do wonder where Leigh-Anne would have been if she would have taken that opportunity at that particular time to go to America and work on that foundation. But, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Isn't that the thing? It's like
just ag.
The men are so great and we love them, and but like they really do be holding you back from shit, because sometimes every day I'm like, I want to move to Italy and start a bakery. Support me in my dreams.
Just do it.
And he's like, we can't do that. We have a life here. Our families are here. I'm like, fuck all that. And honestly, fuck you. I'm leaving. I'm going to start my bakery.
Yeah, back it up.
Always
I'm
trying to
coming.
hold us back.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, oh, yeah, it's frustrating.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I could live in LA, but I think for me, like New York, like coming back from New York, my last 2 trips, I'm like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
It's such a vibe. I just love it.
What does he not like about New York?
He doesn't mind it. I think he likes New York, but I just think the idea of living in the States, he just doesn't want. And I
The
get
PR
it.
in the States is not good right now.
No, yeah.
The PR is really, really bad. I would
Yeah.
recommend checking back in about
But even-
3.5 years.
But even the UK, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's shit everywhere, isn't it?
So that's it, you guys. Let's move on to Love Island. I know you guys were surprised. I know you guys were excited about that. So I am going to make more Love Island content. I am going to make a video real soon. Just bear with me. You know, it's a lot of work and it's just me. But let me talk about the Islanders for a second, and we're going to dive into the core four for a little. But let's just do the overview. The Islanders have been out of the villa for, I think, almost a week now. Actually, it hasn't even been a week. I think the finale wrapped, on the 15th or something like that? It hasn't even been a week yet. So, they're already out. They're doing interviews, getting brand deals, and, yeah. Let's take a look-see.
50 days without our phones, without any access to the outside world. It's been unreal to see everyone's responses.
The season 8 winners Bryce and Trinity popped by the Today Show for their first official interview as boyfriend and girlfriend, and the winners of the $100,000 prize.
Today, Trinity are reflecting on the 6-week whirlwind love affair and addressing their 8-year age gap.
And I felt so comfortable with her, and our laughter. She understood her level of confidence.
Okay, so for whatever reason, I didn't think this would be a specific thing on Trinity, but just like with Jesy and Zion, I do not like this age gap. It's funny because on the show, it didn't really get in the way much, but it's yeah, I'd rather not 8 years. I think 5 years max, but whatever. Let's get into the drama. Okay, that's what I really want to talk about.
Sincere's family making disgusting, microaggressive, racist comments during the Love Island USA finale. We were an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description. Season 8. So far, this postseason, you guys, already has been all over the place. We have some bitter, dumped Islanders, you know what I'm saying, that are being gassed up by their fans on Twitter, by their fans on the Instagrammies, and going out there, you know what I'm saying, with their head cut off, talking crazy, and not realizing it is messing up professional relationships for future brand deals and future opportunities as you adjust to your newfound fame, right? So why we are here today is we need to talk about the disgusting comments that Sincere's family was making and watching the finale. And a lot of you guys, might be new viewers to Love Island USA. I do my best to uplift and stick up for the Black women on these shows because they're always villainized. They're always...
So from what I can perceive, this is a white woman saying this, and it's actually really refreshing to hear. But let me fast forward a little bit. Since his family got caught with their pants down when they were talking smack about Trinity and Anaya. And she's just talking about Trinity and Anaya. Did she have any? Okay, let's start from the beginning. There was a watch party with Sincere's family, and they made some nasty comments about Trinity and Anaya.
As we are coming off the high of the finale last night, and I thought, production did finally we saw some romance. Finally, we saw some good content. It wasn't about drama or any of the things. Apparently, there was a watch party with Sincere's family somewhere, right? And there were cousins there. I believe there was an uncle there. The mom was there. You know what I'm saying? The same mom that couldn't be in Fiji, but has all the time to be on this internet. So, one relative, I believe, said something along the lines of Ariana Madix, the host, basically used her heartbreak from the scandal of it all to become a SLUT. Right? Or and the nicknames associated with. That's what happened.
Yes, you guys, you heard that right. Even the host of Love Island caught strays. It's insane.
In there, right? Then there was another comment where they, I guess, were pissed off that Melanie and Sincere got third place. And I'm here to tell you there was never going to be any planet that Melanie and Sincere were going to see that 100K, let alone second place. It wasn't going to happen. There were certain reasons why we had to dump the other two couples to ensure they did not get a finale, because there were certain things that could not get rewarded.
Me personally, I think there was a lot of scamming happening during that final vote, but that's just me. Neither here nor there.
Then we move on to Anaya. And they're going in on Anaya, saying that she acts like Fiona from Shrek. Now, depending on who you talk to, some people are saying that they called her Shrek. Some people are saying she acts clingy like Fiona from Shrek. But nonetheless, they don't like Anaya. They don't like Anaya, and they said it was disgusting that she made second place, that she got second place, as if she does not have one of the largest fan base of this show.
Mind you, Anaya's biggest crush is Sincere. That's what I believe. Sincere was her first choice, and this is how his family talks about her. And to make matters worse, he's always curbed her on the show. He's always friend-zoned her. I don't think he ever really saw her in a romantic or sexual light. And it makes Anaya, I mean, this behavior shouldn't make Anaya look bad. If it weren't for the fact that Anaya is so sweet on this man, she lets him get away with everything. It's like a whole thing. I'm not gonna blame her. I'm not gonna blame her for his actions, but the way she treats him and versus the way he treats her, it's just like, stand up, please. Please stand up.
Make it make sense. Then we get to the Brinity of it all. We get to Trinity. They call Bryce and Trinity a fake couple, that they are phony baloney, but specifically, they call Trinity and her family ghetto. Oh, I can't believe that, her sister was cussing like that. That's a ghetto family.
Mind you, Sincere's mother is on the TikToks online constantly running her mouth. And Trinity's family is ghetto. Listen, I'm just going to leave it there. I think Spill Sesh does a better job of doing a rundown of all the drama.
You guys, we have got to get into this Love Island drama that is continuing outside of the villa. Kenzie's going on Call Her Daddy to address stuff. Kata has deactivated her Instagram. Trinity has put out a statement regarding Zach getting bullied online. I mean, truly there is so much being said, and we have got to get into everything. Immediately upon the final four getting their phones back, Trinity released a statement on her Instagram that read, "Coming out the villa, one thing I want to say, I'm very blessed and appreciative of the love and support everyone has given me. With that being said, I want to say the hate and ignorant comments some of you guys are doing regarding Zach is absolutely not okay and needs to stop. It's very disheartening."
Okay, so a lot of people were kind of aghast about this. Like the first post that she does out of the video. I can't even speak, y'all. I can't even speak. Help me out, Lord. Help me out. So I heard a lot of people were upset with Trinity for posting about Zach and this being the first post out the villa. And I gotta agree with them because honestly speaking, so many of the Islanders were getting so much hate. And I was thinking like, what about Zach made you specifically talk about him? You know what I mean? Especially with the theories on how Zach thinks about Trinity. I don't think he likes it very much. That's what people say. And honestly, they barely interact. I mean, what we see of them, it's giving pestering sibling vibes, I guess, if you want to look at it in a good light. But he has, a lot of people believe that he's done a lot of microaggressions towards the black women on the show. And listen, Trinity posted this, and Zach didn't even acknowledge it at all. So it's just like, you would think if she went out of her way to say, hey, chill on this guy, that he would say something like, thank you so much, or be appreciative, or be in the comments or anything like that. So far, from my knowledge, he hasn't done any of that. So people are just like, why are you sticking your neck out for this man who clearly does not care for you? And I'm like, that's a good point. And a lot of people are theorizing that since Kata is Trinity's best friend, that Kata was the one who wrote this post. That's why she didn't tag herself. And, you know, as a favor to Kata, Trinity decided to post it. Boom. But still, I mean, you would think Zach would do something and be like, oh, thank you, or I appreciate that. But no, nothing. So that rubbed me the wrong way.
And we are people just like everyone else. We genuinely have love for each other inside and out of the villa, and he's one of the most amazing people I've met, so please have some empathy. And she tagged the rest of the Final Four. The statement was later reposted by the other Final Four couples, and Charlie, Zach's brother, at the same time also shared online. TikTok has banned Zach's account because everyone is reporting it. What the F is wrong with people? The truth about the false narratives portrayed about his time there will be spoken on soon. And Charlie had been defending Zach on Threads a lot over the course of this season, and it seems to be that he feels like Zach was just given a poor edit on the show.
People like Zach, let me just say, I don't like this man. I don't like this man, but I would never go out of my way to harass him, right? What I saw on the show of him, there's no bad editing. We saw his actions. His actions spoke for itself. He plotted against his, you know, an Islander friend, supposed friend, actively plotted against them, actively punished Kata, not giving her breakfast, you know, not taking back compliments, I love yous. I think with Kata, he always made things emotionally unstable. He never wanted her to get too comfortable. This man was very insecure. And so it's like, it's not the edit, babe. It's like, it's his actions. They spoke for itself. It was disgusting. He needed to do better. He didn't. And I don't know where that comes from. You can tell he's very insecure. He doesn't deserve someone like Kata. Like, Kata can have anyone. And I don't know why Kata doesn't stand up. But, you know, I expected more for her. I expected more from her. Hearing everything that I can't even speak. I'm actually getting real tired, you guys. Can you tell? Hearing of her New Hampshire Grim Reaper past, I expected more from her, and being the bombshell that she was, only to be reduced as Zach's pet plaything. She never once really held him to the fire. I remember when he came back from Casa Amor, and she was trying to give him crap. He literally flashed a smile, and she just melted. I'm like, so you're weak. All y'all bitches are weak. But anyway, as I digress.
And that he does not deserve any of the hate that he is receiving. Now, coming out of the villa, I honestly thought that Sincere was about to get the most hate, but from what they are seeing, it was Zach. And Zach later posted a picture of him and Kata on his Instagram story and said, "My rock," and she reposted it. But later, it seems she ended up deactivating her Instagram account, which people were like, oh no, is it because of all the hate? And just feeling really sad that she felt the need to deactivate if all this hate that Zach was getting was affecting her as well. Now, as for Melanie and Sincere, in my last video, I talked about the fact that Sincere's family was facing a lot of backlash for comments that they made about the Final Four when they were live reacting to the finale. And they were making
So I just want to say that I've always wondered what Sincere was. I saw online that he was half black and half Hispanic. Apparently the father that showed up to wring his neck, all a bunch of BS, right? First off, he was like, we don't do that. That's not how we raise you. This, that, the third. Please, with this family, I can believe they can produce a Sincere. It was all performative. You know, people were like, I can't believe his father came and reprimanded him. It's like, it was all performance, all lies. And it turns out that was his stepdad. Apparently that's what they're saying online. And I think Sincere's dad is black. Because I was looking at that man and I'm like, is that Sincere's father? I don't see a resemblance. I'm sorry, y'all. It's like thunderstorming out. Which could actually work to my benefit, because that means that the party that's happening next door might wind down. But anyways, ignore the thunder. We might wrap out real soon, you know. Can't help the weather. right? Oh my God, they turned up the music louder. What the hell? This is insane. Anyways, all of this to say is that, yeah, his family is real shady, and I just saw a few black people in there, so I'm like, okay, if you guys know what his dad looks like, that'd be great, because I swear, I'm like, Sincere looks like he's some kind of black. I mean, he looks really mixed, but it's like, there's some kind of black something. I mean, he's getting a lineup and everything, so, yeah.
All these comments about Trinity, Anaya, like so many of the Islanders. So that had me even more shocked that Zach was the one that was getting more hate upon them all leaving. But something else that has been happening online recently is that brands have been begging Melanie to leave Sincere in exchange for free things, and it's become this big trend. Live Nation posted, Melanie, free concert tickets to cheer you up if you leave that man. City Cruises posted, Dear Melanie, we will give you free cruises for life if you leave that man. JetBlue wrote, Dear Melanie, we will send you on a vacation if you leave that man. Sincerely, JetBlue Vacations. Even StubHub said, Dear Melanie, we'll send you to any event you like if you leave that man. XOXO StubHub. So honestly, I was worried about her feelings leaving the villa and seeing how many people really do dislike Sincere, because I just feel like while she was in the villa, it was very confusing for her with the girls being on Team Sincere and then her family coming in and being like, this man is not for you, and then the girls switching up and being like, yeah, like we did kind of like downplay his actions. So I feel like coming out and then seeing like the entire
girls downplayed his actions, told the truth for 1 minute, and then went back to being Team Sincere. With friends like this. Ooh, sorry y'all, that's the thunder and lightning. You know, don't be surprised if this live unexpectedly ends because of the storm. I don't know if there's gonna be a power outage or whatever, but it might just happen, child. Anyways, yeah, the fact that the girls would be like so Team Sincere and all that. And by the way, in my last video, I implied that it's part of their strategy. They wanted her to stay in the villa to actually make it to the finals. But I actually think that the way that Anaya especially went hard for Sincere, it was beyond strategy. It was beyond strategy, and it was kind of funny. I looked at her real weird, because I'm like, what are your real motives here? Because she is a people pleaser, and oftentimes I have questioned what her real motives are. Like, we never really, I always feel like there's like some type of mask with Anaya. I never really feel like she's 100% genuine or forthcoming. You know what I mean? And y'all remember when Kenzie said that Anaya was the one who knew all the tea? I'm like, that's a lot of power. Being the villa therapist holds a lot of power. Yes, I know that the black women on the show are kind of forced in that role, but I think Anaya wanted to be the villa therapist, and knowing a lot of tea, knowing a lot of secrets, that comes with a lot of power. And I don't know, something about Anaya does not rub me right. So let's continue.
World be like, please do not be with him. I don't know what she was going to think about that, but maybe she hasn't even seen any of this, because Kenzie noted on Call Her Daddy when Alex Cooper brought all of these posts up from the brands that she hadn't seen any of this. But yes, Kenzie did sit down with Alex Cooper this week, and she was so excited. She noted that Alex taught her the Gluck Gluck, so she was fangirling over her, but Alex was asking the question.
Only a white girl can go on a podcast and say all these things. I think Kenzie told her, thank you for teaching me how to do a good BJ. I've gotten so many compliments. I'm like, and she's still getting brand deals? Where are we as a society? Like, only the white girl can do that. And I know Trinity's story about her doing the BJ with her mom in the car still haunts me. Still haunts me. Anyways, crazy.
Here for sure, even asking her about the live stream from the other night where people accused her of talking about Melanie in the background of Soul's live.
Hopefully everyone didn't hear anything.
People were going back and forth over whether or not it was actually Kenzie. Some were saying that it was Jaden. And on the episode, Kenzie just admitted it. She said that it was both Jaden and I.
You guys, after Post Villa, went to Hibachi the other night, and a video started circulating from Soul's live stream. Someone's talking about Melanie in the background. Yeah. We hear something along the lines of, it was always the Melanie show. Anyone who was close to her got to stay. Like, it sounded like light. There was speculation at first it was you. Then there was speculation it was Jaden. Tell us what happened, Kenzie.
Me and Jaden were definitely like talking about them, but not in a awful way. Like, I fucking love Melanie and I'm gonna stand by her. She definitely, I feel like we were just saying she did get a lot more screen time than a lot of other people who were in couples that like wanted to talk, but there was never any shit talking about her.
Can I just say, I don't trust Kenzie. I don't trust Melanie either. They act very similar. Later on in the podcast, Kenzie kind of outs Melanie and says that Melanie was kind of moving funny with her when she pulled her connection just to try to make Sincere jealous. And Melanie, people always say that, or not always say, there have been some comparisons made between Kenzie and Sincere, when the real, I feel like a proper comparison is her and Melanie. Her and Melanie move very similarly. Very similar.
I never talk shit about my girl, and Jaden likes her as well, so.
Do you think that people are gonna think that you got, like, that's like, oh, you guys are jealous because she just got screen time?
I mean, they can think that. That's fine, but that's what we were like talking about. So
So you were just talking about how she got more attention, basically.
On the episode, she also addressed other things as well, like how she felt when TT said that she wasn't planning on staying friends with everyone from the show, and Kenzie explained that though she was surprised to hear this, she also understood because when Casey and TT were saved after the karaoke night, people were shocked and their reactions was kind of off-putting for TT.
Surprised when on After Sun, TT said that she wouldn't be friends with certain people after the villa.
I was a little surprised, but I do get where she's coming from, because after we did the music, or like the little karaoke dance, she felt like a lot of people were shocked by her being chosen, her and KC, which I think we were just kind of more shocked that Kata and Zach weren't in the top 4 than that. But I think that of course her feelings are valid. There's reason she feels the way she feels, so.
Also, on the topic of TT, when the guys came back from Casa, people thought that Melanie and Kenzie were pulled away from the fire pit or something, because at some points you couldn't see Melanie anymore and you couldn't really see or hear Kenzie. So a lot of people, including me, I thought that they had been removed for some reason, but she claims that they were there the whole time.
Were you at the fire pit?
Wait, no, I was at the fire pit then. I was.
Oh, you were?
Yes, I was.
When TT entered and was
she was
like,
I'm TT.
You were there.
I was at the fire pit. I was like this. I was like, holy crap. She was like, oh, you're a little girl. I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay, you were there.
Yeah,
and you were there the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
She also said later that she thinks Zach and Kato were the strongest couple and that Melanie and Sincere played it safe, though she did kind of like
Zach and Kato are the strongest couple. You know what? I feel like their dynamic is not the healthiest, but I feel like they won't ever leave it. I feel like Kato, let me just say, I feel like Kato won't ever leave Zach unless she is forced to. You know what I mean? Let me just say that. Because people were like, Zach doesn't really like her. I'm like, I think Zach does like her. I think he's just so deeply insecure that he treats her like crap. Because he knows the truth that she is out of his league. And so he tries to make her emotionally unstable, so maybe that she will, like, I don't know, bond with him. Something, I don't know. Maybe it's all manipulation. I don't know.
Peter on that question, that second one, she was like, oh, I don't really know. And then she said them. And she noted that she does think that Melanie deserves the world and sounded like she agreed that she shouldn't be with him. But she was also asked about this beef with Parmita, because on After Sun, Parmita had called her out for at one point saying love you to her. And Parmita was like, you don't actually love me. Like, why did you say that? And Kenzie definitely just seems like the kind of person that is like, oh my God, I love you. You know, she's just saying it because it's like a nice enduring thing of like, I care about you and your feelings and stuff like that. Even if you don't like love the person, you know, some people just throw that around. But Parmita did not like that. And Kenzie was asked about this awkward moment that went down on After Sun. And she admitted that she was surprised that Parmita tried to make it a thing.
What is this lingering beef with Parmita?
I don't know.
Kenzie.
I don't know. I feel like I've apologized a ton of times, so I don't know what more I can do. And then when I said, like, I love you to her, it's because she was leaving, and I just wanted to give her compassion and love at that time. And then using it against me, I don't know. I was actually shocked at, like, After Sun.
Speaking of Parmita and After Sun, Parmita has recently come out to address something on her Instagram story from that Me So Much Love. I'm beyond excited to share this.
Sorry, y'all. I do not care about Parmita drama, so I'm just skipping over her.
next chapter of my life with you all as I make the move to Miami. I can't wait to take you along for the journey and for you to be a part of everything that's ahead. Love you guys. Back to Kenzie though, on her Call Her Daddy episode, she did talk about her Love Island experience as a whole and things that have been said about her, and she didn't think that she moved like Sincere, because some people had compared her to Sincere, especially on the show. Some of the other Islanders have made comments about that, but she says that, you know, she never said anything bad about anybody that she was with, unlike Sincere, or made any fake promises, and felt like she was held to a different standard than him because she was a woman.
Why do you think the girls were holding you to a different standard?
I don't know why the girls were holding me to a different standard.
Because Kenzie was being fake and encroaching on other people's connections and not being genuine. Like, it's not that hard. This is annoying. Let me just skip. And also during this interview, she kind of made it seem like she was getting bullied, and I don't know.
We talked about it.
She also talked about how this season people weren't exploring as much when she thought, you know, this is Love Island, this is what we're supposed to do.
Probably just like my love triangles and just getting and me feeling like I couldn't talk, I wasn't allowed to talk to two people at once. Like, it just made no sense in my mind. I'm like, where are we right now? I'm very confused and feeling like I was just getting shit on over and over for exploring when no one was closed off. So it's like,
I think a lot of the viewers felt that way, and they were frustrated in some capacity with the season. I think people loved when Soul was like, this is Couples Island. You guys are not even 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
Let's open it up a little bit.
So that is what Kenzie had to say on Call Her Daddy. That is what Parmita had to say in addressing After Sun, and what Trinity said defending Zach. I certainly want to know what you guys think about everything that has sort of gone down ever since the Islanders have gotten out of the villa. It's only just the beginning. The reunion is still next month, and I'm sure a lot more will be happening in the meantime, but let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.
I feel like people are already gearing up for Kate.
Okay, so you guys, I talked about wanting to focus on the core four and the dynamics a little bit. I will make a video about this, but I just want to see how they interact outside of the villa so I can get more information to really properly make a full-fledged video on it. But honestly, Kata, Anaya, Trinity, I don't think, and Melanie, I don't think that they will last. I have a hope that Melanie will outgrow whatever situation she's in right now, and, you know, she will evolve past them. But Trinity too, as well. Trinity gives me that this is just a business thing. But I don't know. Her and Kata do seem close, so I don't know how they'll interact. I do see Trinity and Melanie kind of splitting ways. I feel like on their own accord, while Kata and maybe Anaya will succumb to something. Because I'm trying to be hopeful with Melanie. Hopefully she doesn't really succumb to anything bad, but you know, you never know.
To be the first member of the core four to fall off. And I think that's because while we don't know, I feel like people are already gearing up for Kata to be the first member of the core four to fall off. And I think that's because while we don't know her personally, we've watched her every day almost for an entire summer, and we've seen the way that she seems to respond to criticism of her connection with Zach. We as an audience don't really like Zach. Her friends might have some misgivings about the way that he speaks to her and how he's constantly like offering intimacy and then immediately taking it away. But I do think that a lot of the comparison between how her and Zach are received on the outside versus how particularly Trinity and Karnaya are received on the outside is really going to mess with her head. And having seen her mom comments and basically say, when people said he didn't make her breakfast, she said, first of all, my daughter is a grown woman, she can take care of herself. That's not what the issue is. The issue is not that she wasn't going to eat or go hungry. The issue was that he was punishing her. But anyway, she then said, I think he's the right guy for my daughter. So we're not going to face family scrutiny here. All of the noise is going to be coming from outside and probably inside too, because there will as she is wont to do, I think as anyone would do in this scenario, be an inner voice that is saying, well, why isn't it us? How come everybody loves Bryce and Trinity? How come everybody loves Carlin and Nia? Carlin and Nia weren't even together as long as we were. Bryce and Trinity don't even like each other as much as we like each other. They don't even look as good together as we look. The people hate Sincere and want better for Melanie, but I think that that's going to be very cold comfort for Kata. Because even just to look at the date that they got versus the dates that everybody else got, it's clear that they were not just in fourth place, but far below the other three couples. And so there really is an opportunity that she's going to get in her own way and allow jealousy and comparison to get in the way of her friendships with Anaya, Trinity.
Let me just say that, you know, Trinity and Bryce are the top of the food chain in this dynamic, right? I am wondering if they'll pull their weight to make her feel lesser than. I don't know if that's really their MO. Maybe they'll do it inadvertently, but I am wondering if that's something that they would pull.
Trinity and Melanie. I just watched a Jahalis video where she was talking about how profitable friendship is on Love Island. The entire thing that blew up season 6 of Love Island and created Beyond the Villa was PPG's friendship. One of the things she said in that video, and I'll tag her down below so you guys can go watch it, was that people on season 8 do not realize that this is in fact Friendship Island. But what I'm going to say to that is that there is one person who realizes that, and it's Zach. We've watched him already try and brand his friendship with Bryce on the show. He has packaged it and is attempting to sell it to us. And I honestly think part of his excitement about Brinity winning is the fact that Brinity winning in his mind is a win for him.
Can I just say the friendships on here aren't sellable to me because the people in these friendships aren't likable. Well, a lot of the people on here aren't likable. So Bryce and Zach, people in questioning if they're gay or not, I'm like, I don't like this bromance. They don't even... I mean, Zach is so conniving. Bryce, they both plotted against a fellow Islander for their demise. Like, I don't know. There's just, they give me ick. They're ill. I don't know. It won't work.
And a win for Kata because he has tied himself so closely to Bryce and Bryce's brand and Bryce's journey on the show this summer that where Bryce goes, Zach has to go. There is a potential that if Kata and Trinity fall out, then Bryce and Zach will fall out, but that doesn't tend to happen in these types of situations. It's usually a situation of like, oh, well, that's their relationship. This is our relationship. Just because they don't like each other doesn't mean that we have to not like each other. So there's potential that not only is Kata going to self-sabotage and compare herself into losing out on important formative friendships with women who really care about her and who really want the best for her. She will also lose out on all of the branding opportunities that come along with being a part of the core four, while Zach continues to maintain access to Bryce and all of the branding opportunities that come with his bromance with Bryce. And it will put...
I don't know how much America hates Bryce. I mean, I don't know how much America hates Zach, but I feel like everything he touches might turn to crap. Like, all these alliances that he's going to lean on to get brand deals and like become popular, it might just work against him because he's just that unlikable. And by the way, I forgot to mention this during the Kenzie spot. I think before she went on Call Her Daddy, she had like 500,000 followers on Instagram, and then I think post the interview she has almost 1 million. So Kenzie's gonna be all right.
I'm starting to think there's some credence to that theory that the CIA is...
So hold on one second, guys. Let's talk about Anaya. Okay. Let's talk about Anaya. Because she was the biggest letdown on the show, and I just can't get over it.
I'm starting to think there's some credence to that theory that the CIA is pumping out 2 different versions of Love Island USA, because I cannot understand how some of the people with some of the takes that they have are watching the same show that I'm watching, except that we have come so far as a society that we have really just like completely given up on any of the alleged progressive values that were like espoused during the woke era, and now we're fully back to like holding up and fighting for the angry Black woman stereotype and fighting for men's right to speak to and treat women whatever way they want, and fighting against solidarity between women. I'm struggling a lot.
You know what? A lot of people are rooting for surface level bullshit. The solidarity between the core four is not as solid as people think. It's just built on bullshit, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, I don't know what Anaya's true intentions are. Like, even with her being Team Sincere, it's like, if she said it like one time and in a proper way, I could be like, okay, she just wants her friends to stay in the finals or something like that. But how hard she went for Sincere, how easy she lets off on him. You know what I mean? There's something about Anaya that I do not trust. How she moves, I do not trust. And so when people are like, yeah, female solidarity, this, that, and third, it's not just female solidarity. You want to be able to trust the woman you're around. Not just any old woman. You got to make sure that they're of good character. This all surface level bullshit. Like, it's just crazy.
With the idea Anaya's fan base is the same as Huda's fan base from last season. And I've seen a couple of people say that. And I'm just so thoroughly confused. Huda was caught on video breaking into her ex-boyfriend's BM's apartment complex, allegedly. Don't sue me. Her fans are in TikTok comments saying that that's not real, that didn't happen, when we can see with our 2 eyes exactly what happened on the video, or they're justifying what she did. What has Anaya done that is even a fraction of that bad?
Okay, so I can't speak on Huda because I didn't watch last season. But what I can say is that Anaya has made some major mistakes on the show, and her fans have done little to nothing to correct her or to speak out about it. The biggest moment being when she was screaming and yelling in Casey's face during movie night. And I'm like, her fans should have said something then. But a lot of people were rooting for it. And when she went to apologize, I'm glad she did. But I gotta say, it's like when she went to apologize, it kind of felt like someone forced her to do it. You know what I mean? Like, someone pulled her aside and they were just like, hey, that's not cool, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of felt like, you know how in sports, you gotta shake hands on it? It kind of felt like she was doing the sportsmanship thing to do, like, I'm so sorry, this, that, and the third. And you could tell with the apology, she didn't really, let me not harp on it too much, but she maybe, I'm not the best at giving apologies, so I'm not going to judge her too much, but she just wanted to go in and out. I said what I had to say, now I gotta go. Which, you know, she's still upset with oh boy for hurting her, I guess. Not hurting her, for making her look bad, so maybe she I don't know, but like the way she did it, I was just like, yeah, she doesn't really care, but thank God she apologized. That's something. But still. And it's like when KC apologized, I felt like he was earnest, like he really wanted to close the hatchet. But even when he was apologizing, you could just tell she was itching to leave, which, you know, understandable. She doesn't like him at that moment, and she is feeling embarrassed, so. But they should have spoke up then, but a lot of people were co-signing that behavior, and that was disgusting.
What has Anaya done that is even a fraction of as bad as laying in a bed with a man and doing a countdown for how long he has to wake up and her before she decides that she's going to ruin his day the next day? Sexual coercion. What has Anaya done that is a quarter as bad as completely destroying the entire vibe of the villa? People, when Huda would get upset, you could feel through the TV screen how anxious everyone around her was. When has she continually asked for counsel without also giving it back in equal measure? Now I'm thinking about it, I think some of y'all heard that Anaya's dad used to be an NBA player, and you heard she must be spoiled, she must be a brat, she must have trouble hearing the word no, and every judgment you've passed on her since then has been based off of that information. Does she give brat sometimes in the villa? Sure. Is she entitled? Maybe. I actually think more Black women need to be entitled. Wanting someone not to act like dating you is...
Honestly, I had such high hopes for Anaya, like that black girl rich archetype. I wanted to see that in the villa. I love girls like Moesha, Hillary Banks, you know, rich girls like that who demand more from life than what society gives them. I love that attitude. I want more black girls and black women to have that, to look up to. But for Anaya, it's like she had a lot going for her, and she just accepted crumbs in a way. Like, it's so funny. She had all these standards with KC and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, standards are great. And then when it comes to Sincere, she'll take crumbs or some shit like that, and I'm like, you don't really stand on business. You're not consistent. You know what I mean? But whatever. And even the way Melanie treats her, it's like she's willing to be someone's lapdog, but then it's just like, Like, where is the self-respect? Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes Anaya just does not make sense. One person, she'll have all these high standards. The other person, she'll just, like, let them run all over her. It's insane.
The worst thing they've ever had to do is not being entitled. I don't know if that's confusing to people, but it's not. I'm unsure why people are acting like the core four are, like, evil. There are words that I probably cannot say.
The core four are birds. Church. Well, Trinity, I can say a lot about the other girls. Trinity, at least I can respect her. Actually, I can't really respect her too much because she is with a man who used her to break up a black couple and used her to berate a black man. I don't know. I don't fucking know, bro. Like, all these women, they were giving so many options. If they just stood on business, if they had the standards that she's saying Anaya had, I would have loved to see them exercise it. I would have loved to see them demand respect from these men who didn't even take them out on dates. I would have loved to see, you know, them demanding their worth, but they didn't do none of that. It's like, there's like, I can't rock with women who take the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Like, I know they're young, but that's no excuse. Honestly, it's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. They're not that great. They're not having that good friends. It is what it is.
Say, because they will not allow them to be on this app. But, like, they are doing evil in that villa when all they're doing is talking back in the same manner to the men who speak about them.
I don't think that the men talk to them in the same way that they talk to them. Am I missing something? The men are slick at the mouth. They're really disrespectful, but I don't think that they yell at the girls. You know what I mean? Like, are we watching the same show? I'm kind of, the guys are rude, absolutely, but I don't want to say they're more subtle, but they're more calm. Like, they don't berate the girls. Can you imagine if a boy ever spoken to the girls or the way the girls did the guys? Like, there's no way. There's no way the boys can get away with that. But don't get me wrong, they said some horrible stuff. Like, Corbin was like, yeah, she's out the window, blah, 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 blah. Casey is like, oh yeah, she owes me, or like, I've only, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Bad, very bad. But the way that the girls have gone after the guys, insane. I mean, it's particularly Casey, like the way they've gone after him, I'm like, my God. I think there's only like, I don't think any of the guys have had any of that vitriol their way. I think Sincere had that one sliver moment in movie night when he was going up against Trinity and Kata, and they were about to light him up, and then what happened? Freaking Anaya came in and was like, let him speak, you guys, let him speak. Trinity was about to go in on him. I wanted to see it. I'm like, yes, finally. Someone should have done this a long time ago. But Anaya stood up for Sincere, like the dummy she's been acting, because she likes his crumbs. And it's like, oh my God, you guys, let him speak, let him speak. He's speaking to me. It's like when he was trying to tell her, hey, I F with you, but these double standards are too much, all that stuff. It's like, Anaya, stand up, please. Stand up.
Disrespectfully. Since when did we allow men to talk to women crazy? Am I old? I'm 28. I've never lived a life where I watch men scream at women and there are men around them who don't say anything. Back in my day, you don't talk to girls like that.
Okay, so now I'm really confused. When did they scream at the girls? Are we watching a different show? I can't recall them ever screaming at the girls, except for like movie night when Sincere was trying to say like his 2 cents. And it was like two groups screaming at each other, but it wasn't. But the girls were screaming at the guys at the fire pit, and the guys just took it. Melanie always screams at Sincere. But again, it's like with her, it's understandable, but still. Y'all, comment down below. Do y'all recall the guys ever screaming at the girl? Now I think we're watching a different show. I think we really are watching a different show. Now I'm confused.
You as a man of misogyny and patriarchy, there is this idea that men are able to better regulate their emotions. So as a man, figure out what you want to say, calm yourself down, and then say it when you are addressing a woman. Now, when men yell at women and women yell back, it's the women's fault for yelling back and not wrong that the men yelled at them in the first place. Now, I'm not saying that that patriarchal ideal is correct. I'm just saying, when did it switch? When?
Yo, what is she talking about? I think we're watching a different show. When did the guys yell at the girls first? What? I don't know. Maybe we are watching a different show. I think I need more examples. Maybe I'm forgetting some scenes. I don't know. Let's just watch this girl rant about the core four.
Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. Am I clear? Okay, so Love Island is currently over. Thank God. I want to talk about, like, honestly, these are the most goofiest girls that has ever graced my screen. I
Agreed.
literally can't see how anyone would watch the show and still like these groups of women. And I feel like if you like them, you just like them because some of them are pretty. You like them because you had to just be biased and then decided before the season that you like them no matter what. Because how do you watch this show back and these girls don't make you sick to your stomach? I don't know. I have high racial self-esteem. So that's why whenever I come across women, Black women who have extremely low racial self-esteem, it literally makes me disgusted.
Again, these girls do not stand on business. They need to demand more from these men or get new men. They had options, right? And they still stuck with the same old garbage men. It was really disappointing.
At my core, it's so bad I couldn't even talk about it because honestly, like what I told my subscriber, I don't know how to talk. Oh shoot. I don't know how to talk about these girls without roasting them for filth. Okay, like you've seen in my last live stream when I got to talking about Anaya. When we get to talking about Anaya, it gets very unhinged. Okay, I have to calm down. Okay, we are very Black and proud over here. So low key, I be on my Dr. Umar energy sometimes, and I kind of channel that, right? These girls were so disappointing, and they really do represent what it looks like when women have low racial self-esteem. So what does that mean? I'm just going to go ahead and define it. I had seen one of my subscribers use that word, and now I can't stop. I was going to put it on the screen, but like it's too close. So shout out to this person. You can see they used the word. They wanted me to talk about it, right? They wanted me to talk about Love Island and the Black women and their low racial self-esteem. Okay, so what that means to me is you just don't like being Black. That's what it means. Your self-esteem when it comes.
You know what I think it means in this particular situation is like they only had standards for the Black man, I guess, right? But they'll take anything from a white man or a white adjacent man. In regards to Melanie, I guess Sincere is just so mixed. Can you consider him Black? I don't know. But they'll take crumbs from non-Black men and they'll accept it. And it's like, you need to be consistent across the board. Demand respect from all men. Don't just accept the crumbs because the guy is like white or white adjacent or just not Black. You know what I mean?
Comes to your race is low. It's very self-explanatory. The signs will always be there. You can tell by it's funny, but like the signs will always be there when a woman does not. She's not truly proud of being Black.
You know what, you guys? I'm actually really, really tired. I'm gonna wind down. I really wanted to talk about Coco Jones, but I'm honestly just so tired, and I really wanted this live stream to stop at 2:30. So it's 3 minutes till 2 hours 30 minutes, but you know, I think we're good here. Like, I've said what I wanted to say about these girls. Such disappointments. I mean, the face cards are amazing, gorgeous women. It's just that they don't know what they have going on. You know what I mean? People blame it on their youth, but I don't accept that. That's not good enough for me. Around this age, I was always self-improving. I was always trying to be my better self. So it's very difficult for me to relate to these girls at this age. Like when I was 24, I was moving out of state. And ever since high school, I was always trying to better myself, mental health, emotional intelligence, all that stuff. It's always something that I've prided myself on. And so seeing these women act the way that they do around these men, around each other, I'm like, this is not good. They're not friendship goals. They're not relationship goals. They're not nothing. They just look good together, and that's just about it. And it's really hard for me to find really good qualities. I do have a soft spot for Melanie, and I do respect Trinity's hustle. Like, she gives me, I'm willing to do anything to get out of here, and well, that could be a good thing and a bad thing, but Trinity is very much ambitious, which I respect. Melanie, I feel like she's close to realizing what's good for her. I feel like she just needs to overcome the Sincere hurdle. I feel like the universe threw Sincere at her as like the final test to really evolve into her higher self. So I have a lot of high hopes for her, for Melanie, because seeing her drain of her life force in real time it's really jarring to see. Everyone else can kick the fuck off, like kick rocks. I don't give a fuck about any of these people, honestly. Such disappointments. And when I see two dark-skinned black girls, that makes my day, right? But I'm starting to realize, and I've already said this before a while back, it takes more than just appearances. Just because we share a phenotype, that doesn't mean anything. Show me your character. I have to like what I see on the inside. That I can't just cape for you just because you look like me. You know what I mean? If you move like crap, if you're acting like a bird, but you look like me, I'm actually gonna dislike you even more because I'm like, you making me look bad. Like, what the hell? But that's all I have to say for today for these girls. I might just do a whole video, but let me know what y'all think down below with the rewatch or whatever. But I'm calling it a night because I'm really tired. And thank you all for coming. Thank you for your attention. I'm out.